Hello, hello. Welcome, survivors. Happy holidays. Good to have everybody here. I see somebody's joining us. Already got that one like. Thank you so much. I have a feeling it's John. Let's see who it is. Yeah, we're going to talk about different things. Feel free to join in whenever you would like. Some of us are home alone on the holidays, especially with that snowstorm. And we're going to talk about holiday hoovers. Does the narcissist really have a better life now with or without us? When are they really happier? So, thank you for joining me. Happy holidays. Even if you're not celebrating Christmas, you are so welcome to be here. But when we're going through the holidays, it's more of a stressful situation and it can be kind of taxing. It kind of make us have some memories and look back on our lives. It is John. Did you hear what I said? I'm like, I bet it's John. Oh, and Samantha. Hi, Samantha. And JG. Awesome. Thank you. You guys are pretty prompt. I like that. What's up? What's up? Did you guys have a good holiday so far? I was stuck at home. Hopefully going to see my mom tomorrow. So that's some good news. But yeah, the weather, they predicted that terrible storm, and it's, I don't know, maybe that much snow, but it's pretty icy out. So my sisters ventured out. They're closer to my mom than I am, so they said the roads are pretty bad. But um yeah, some of us, I kind of had a kind of a sad day today. It was just kind of, John had a good Christmas. Yeah, sometimes we get into funks, sometimes we celebrate. And I noticed what I did, and I shouldn't do this. I got lost in that Facebook trap. And it's good not to do that. Like, I'm okay with, seeing other people celebrating their Christmases, but how much wasted time on stupid stuff that I scrolled through, because as you're going through Facebook, it pops up different stories, different little things, and I wasted a lot of my day. So I'm actually thinking about taking down my Facebook. The only reason I keep it up is to see like some family pictures, things like that. But I noticed certain people that I know have, I don't know if I would call them mental illnesses. They might be, but at least some stressful situations. And it was interesting to see that they posted every single gift. And you went through that. Yeah, sometimes, we have good times and bad times. Like, I didn't cry today, and I'm kind of proud of myself for that. I did get some cleaning done, laundry. I had my leftovers from last night, made myself my own little Christmas dinner. It's just different. My dad's gone now. My grandpa recently passed away too. And my mom's in the hospital. My brother couldn't make it from out of town. My daughter's in Tennessee with my grandkids. So, uh, I'm okay being alone, but, just saying hi to them. In person. I was able to talk to them on the phone. So feel free. John had a good holiday. That's fantastic. What kind of things did you go through, John? Are you talking about today or in general? And JG, I'm sorry, I'm just wearing black socks today, but I wore the fancy ones. I almost put on my Christmas sweater. I did do green and red. Does that count? That Christmas sweater is so hot. And Samantha says, husband did make it a rough day. He didn't help when I asked, but I'm also thankful for my babies. So going to just continue to be happy. And that's a good thing. Like, people who are emotionally a little healthier, they focus on the good things. So Sam, good job on that. And you'll come over. Yeah, because I still got laundry I got to put away. And John says overtime. Yeah, it takes, we have our good days and our bad days. And certain things, certain scents, certain things that we'll come across will remind us of our ex. But, if you guys are wondering, are they happier with us or without us? It honestly is just somebody else occupying their time. And, with the holidays, just like Sam had said, she's still with her person and made it rough. How did he make it a rough day? Just didn't want to help, or was it more than that? Was he giving you attitude? And it's really interesting in the way that they communicate. They focus on the negative. We try to focus on the more positive, and it affects the way that we talk. And when you're looking at the negative, you might be a little more anxious or snippy. When you're positive, you appreciate things. And I've really been doing a lot of different research on, like, we all have our feelings. We all have our feelings. We have our good days and our bad days. So we got to be careful with our reactive abuse, whether it's in the workplace, with friends, certain things like that. We also, the boundaries versus manipulation, because as we're going through these relationships, they kind of, we do kind of guide each other. And is it manipulation? Um, you know, narcissists do it in a different way. John says, "Thank God that girl is not interfering anymore." Yeah, when things start to settle down, we have a freedom about us. So, you know, it does get better. And Lily, you did join as you promised. Good to see you because I saw your Facebook post or YouTube post. And I haven't been able to get back to it, but I did see that and I was all excited about that. So we got a good crowd going. Feel free to chat away and some of the concerns, some of the things that you went through. I love those little heart eyes. I can't do it with one hand, but when we talk about the narcissist being happier, they might post things just like I said with that person posting every single gift. Like I get, two or three maybe per child, something like that. But it was, uh, to show off, what they have. And everybody's happy. So they can revel in the happy times to show, yes, I am happy. So they'll post it. But it was really odd. If these are just gifts from the kids at school, it's like chocolate and stuff. But people with like hordes of presents and stuff. It's kind of interesting. I don't have a problem with people doing it, but when they have like 36 pictures of each individual gift, and some of the gifts didn't even look like the people were all that excited about it. Um, it's a little excessive, I think. Sammy Sam, uh, he had attitude when he opened his gift. He didn't get me anything, but I don't care. That's not an issue. The issue is his behavior that he tries to pin the responsibility of his happiness on me. A lot of times, too, yeah. Unless they give us a Christmas gift, we're trying to figure out what they want. And Sam says he can't be there. He can't be happy. Yeah, because they like to, cut something down. They have to say something as opposed to being appreciative. And when I was raised, it's kind of like it might not be your favorite sweater that you got for Christmas, but it's the thought that counts. And they don't look at it like that. Also, the gift giving, they tend to stop with the gift giving. They might continue a little bit, but it's not like it used to be. Sam, did he ever give you gifts in the beginning? Sometimes too. That's just how people are. But when they're not appreciative, sometimes too, it might kind of subconsciously stroke that hit his ego that he should have given you a gift, or I don't know. Did you guys have an agreement not to give a gift too? But oh, it's Lisa. What do you like being called better, Lisa? I might mess up. I'm going to try to remember that. No, never a gift. Okay, so that's kind of like how he is, which sucks. But sometimes too, they'll start withholding gifts, and that's kind of sad because as adults, sometimes we each come from different families, so that makes it hard. What about Valentine's Day, Samantha? Ever do anything for Valentine's Day? Lily is okay because that's what it says. Okay, I'll probably flip flop between the two. I know sometimes it's like, oh, get a little confused on what to call people. I had this one girl at school. Her name is spelled uh, EI, which from all the languages I've studied is like an A sound, and she's like, no, it's an I sound, and it messes me up because I'll read her name and my mind has a really hard time with her. JG, Sam, this is the advice from JG. He says to get a divorce. I'd like you to expand on that so she hears it from more than just me. What do you say, JG? Why are you telling her that? Because I think she's in an abusive relationship. I agree. Just a different perspective. Lily. So John says, I used my time this holiday to experiment with the special effects apps I have. Very focused on it today. Yeah, and I think part of the reason why I got off track is I wanted to have a nice, calm holiday. I've been searching for better uh, accommodating live stream software because I told you it's like $1,000 a year, and they don't answer your questions. So I'm on with YouTube support and doing all this research, and it's like I just want one question, but you got to read through all this stuff. And after a couple hours, I'm like, screw this, I'm just gonna chill. So Sam says, I was raised to be thankful to the person that gave you something, regardless of what it was, but he's a jerk. Yeah, sometimes too, even just, I'm going to make breakfast this morning. Go ahead, sleep in. I'll get the kids ready. So it doesn't even have to be you know, um, never a Valentine gift. Yeah. My cousins are Jehovah Witnesses. They do not do well. I guess I got a gift for my wedding, my wedding shower, bridal shower that I never had a wedding to. So they do give gifts, but they don't really get gifts. Yeah, that's hard, Samantha. It's a special day, but I mean, at least he's not taking away. That could just be him, but it's kind of sad. But um, that shouldn't be your. Ugh, I'd still be kind of a little hurt, but okay with it, I guess. JG says she married a guy that got worse over the years, or was he always a prick to you? So Samantha, I'm going to let you expand on that, and I'll expand on it too. But um, we had some issues with Grandpa, how he handled the Grandpa situation, Sam. So expand on that. How much worse? Scale of 1 to 10 from wedding day till now. How much worse is he? 10% worse? I guess that's. Um, Lisa says, see, I'm going to flip flop. Funny ex narc was big on presents for holidays, but I despised him so much that I can't be phony, and I got him nothing like the last years with him. He didn't know the difference. Yeah, sometimes they're so oblivious. And plus, too, though, Lisa, the male female type stuff too gets the man traditionally is the one that brings flowers, things like that. So he could be kind of oblivious to it too. But yeah, we over the years, some of us start hating our person. We loved him, and now it's like this is so much abuse. So Sam says he says I married you. That's all the, and I love you enough. That's and I love you enough. Yeah. So I married you. That should say that I love you. Yeah, not really. And that's kind of hurtful. You're kind of saying, do you love me? Well, I married you. And it reminds me of my ex, where after we broke up, I think I said something like, you hate me. He's like, I don't hate you. I love you because you're the mother of my child. And it's like, that's not why I loved him, because if I was raped, I'm not going to love my rapist because he's the father of my child. That's not a reason you love somebody. Uh, it's like superficial bullshit. John says, I gave my narcissist friends gifts, which she tossed out. And he knows she tossed them out. You guys live in the same complex, or you did, right? And he saw them in the garbage. And it almost seems, from what you said, John, expand if I'm wrong, that it was almost strategically placed to where he might come across the gifts that were thrown out. And that can be hurtful. Sometimes it's on purpose. If it's on accident, it's a different story. Lisa says on Valentine's and birthdays, he'd bring me in the gift the day or night before to torment and take away the thunder for not being on the day. So you were kind of hoping. I know I did that with my kid, though. I was always so excited about Christmas. I was like, I probably spent 3 times as much because I couldn't wait, and that's terrible. But yeah, sometimes it's important. We were grown. You got to wait. Grown up, where it's you got to wait, and yeah. Yeah, sometimes too, Lisa, I get what you're saying, but sometimes too, like I wasn't trying to take away my kids' thunder. I was just wanting to be excited with her, and yeah, but that was probably an issue on my part. But I can see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like Valentine's Day. It's like if I give you a gift right now for Valentine's Day, it doesn't mean as much, or if I give it to you 6 weeks after. JG, why is she your friend? She was. She was. If you're talking, yeah, you are talking to John. They kind of like dated for a while. He calls her friend because it's kind of confusing on how she treated him. You married to Al Bundy, Samantha. Yeah, a little married with children going kind of thing, where it is toxic. And I don't know. I don't see Samantha with the big old red hair and leopard leggings. and but maybe. Lisa says right. John says I think it was. You think it was on purpose? It could be. It could be. Sometimes it's kind of obvious. See, I'm gonna flip flop. I'll just read it. It's easier. I know your name's Lisa, but Lily, gosh, that is so mean, John. She was a tormentor too. Yeah, because there's times you kind of. I don't want to hurt the person. We live in the same complex, but that whether it was purposeful or not purposeful, sometimes they're just like some of you guys are saying, oblivious to the repercussions on somebody's emotions, you know, to where she didn't care. Do I hide this or put it out? And then Lily says, yeah, but you're not a narc. No, not in the same context. So we got some thumbs up and some love. JG, how was your Christmas and everybody else? Tell me how your day went. But Sam, that's kind of hard. Did the kids pick up on any negative vibes today? Lisa says when you said you got your kids gifts early. Oh, I know, but I'm not an arc. And I made up for it too. I made up for it too. It cost me like 3 times as much. And I saved some, but there's certain ones, you know, or something we could do together. But yeah, holidays can be quite stressful sometimes too with the travel. Now with the snowstorm in certain areas of the country, you know, you can't, like my sister-in-law right now is going 3 hours from her place in Wisconsin to Chicago because her son, my nephew, and his wife, their flights were rerouted. So she has 3 other kids and a husband, and she's going to pick up one of the kids on Christmas, you know, so it kind of affects holidays. There's unexpected things that can happen. Um, Lily says, I know you said your daughter is 30 now, but how was she affected by my ex through all the years? Um, it's hard. Her and I aren't talking right now. She's, uh, I don't know. Uh, we have issues, you know, every mother, father, but, or daughter. Um, but a lot of it is like things over the years that she's a lot like him. She's a lot like him. I love her to death, but she's a lot like him. So JG says, slept good, ate pretty good, and relaxing. That's the way to do it. I kind of relaxed today too. And I kind of, like I said, got caught down that rabbit hole, kind of regretting that I did that because there's so much in life that we can do. We got to remember we have one life, and the time, it's up to us to choose what we do today. So sometimes too, I told you guys, mom's in the hospital, so I just want to make sure. I don't know. I think it's okay. Um, Same with your 16-year-old. Is she a lot like the dad? 16 years old too. Be careful with that age group because they'll push it. Like I was a little softer on my daughter because my ex was so hard that she even said, you know, I used to basically give you shit because I knew I could. So they're gonna test you now. Right now, she's basically says I was a piece of shit mom because I was too kind. So um, yeah, kids do need boundaries, and it's almost like at certain times you're just not going to win either way. You know, either you're too strict or you're too lenient. You know, she was a very bold personality. I always said she'd do really good in life, but as a child, she kind of struggled with her bold personality. Sam said, and I'm sorry, Lisa, you're going through that. Sam says, yes, they apologize to me when they see me cry, but I pulled it together and told them it's not their fault at all and explained all that to them. Yeah, let them know you're not that, uh, that it's not their fault. A lot of times they that's how they process it. You know, Addie's here. Good to see you, Addie. Welcome to the party. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Lisa said a lot like yeah, they'll pick out the traits often of one parent. And I know when my kid was growing up, they were like, she looks like him, but her gestures are like me. So she picked up uh, his uh, his physical traits, and um, like our faces are different but fairly similar. So it's a cross. She's pretty good. It's different, like you can tell us apart, but he's got shorter legs and a longer, stocky torso, and I got long legs and like an average torso. Um, And Brenda, good to see you, Brenda. Merry Christmas. Sam says, hey to Addie. Maha, my sweet girl. So we got a good group. Feel free to join in. We're telling each other how our Christmases were. If you guys have any questions or comments. And yeah, it's not easy. That's a whole other chapter, but definitely take that to heart because they're going to push your buttons. And like she said, looking back, like, yeah, I gave you hell because I knew I could. And then I'm a piece of shit mom because she just overpowered me. And it's like, you can't win, you know? Um, so say a prayer for her and I. because I love her. But that's another reason holidays can be difficult. You got the gift you've been waiting for years. What was it? What have you been wanting, Addie? Brenda says, just me and the puppies. Peace is a gift. Exactly. So give me a thumbs up if you guys experienced some peace this year. There is definitely some peace here. And you're so happy. Good, Addie. And Merry Christmas. You got shoes. Oh, yeah. Sometimes the right pair of shoes can just make your day, especially since we wear our shoes more than once. Lily, she got some shoes. Definitely girls like shoes. I don't know. Guys do too. Guys are getting into shoes again. And I like boots. So can't win is right. I know, no matter what you do. Because my daughter was even like, yeah. And then you made muffins for everybody. And I'm like, yeah. I got yelled at for making muffins. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. They like my muffins. I had one kid eat 15 muffins. Like, what the hell? I didn't think they were that good. Secret ingredient, you guys. This is my Christmas gift to you. It's super easy. You just take a little bit of brown sugar, sprinkle it on top of the muffins, and that's my secret recipe. It's really good. Makes a difference. Peace, yeah. Peace, joy, happiness. Addie says they're designed by the Nebraska volleyball team, your favorite team and sport. Tell us what colors. I bet they're comfortable. I bet you were jumping for joy. They probably got a little extra spring in that step. JG being all inappropriate on Christ's birthday. Muffins. Oh, I don't know. Do we have different definitions of what a muffin is? I only got one muffin. But anyways, Gigi, you're so naughty. But get me off topic. But we were talking like, are they happier? Yeah, get me all flustered. Oh, I started telling you guys about this thing that I really want to be able to screenshot it to share with you the different heat sensitivities that our body goes through during different emotions. It's pretty interesting. And thank you for those thumbs up. Helps with that algorithm. I see you guys doing that for me. But our body, like love and anger, the normal person, it was really interesting the different ways. And the certain, like love was a certain portion of the body, like torso and a little bit of like the crotch area, a little bit below. And then the love was kind of missing that part, but everything, but it's like the heat and a depressed person really didn't put off a lot of heat. It's very interesting. So our bodies are like in overdrive, but we're missing something. I'll show it to you guys. It's going to be interesting. I can't do it tonight. I don't know how, I don't think I can screen share to figure that out. But Addie says I screamed red, black, and white. Those are my high school colors. So I got a special place in my heart for red, black, and white. Go Chargers! And I like those are the three colors I like for cars too. So congratulations on the shoes. Yeah. And that's neat that the volleyball team designed them. Huh. And did you play, Addie? Did you play in high school, college, or junior high? I wish I knew how much I liked volleyball because thank you for that. Like, I see that. It does help me. I appreciate that. So, if I knew that I liked it, I probably would have gotten a college scholarship. They tried giving me a basketball scholarship, and they're chasing me. Like the coach is chasing me down the hallways at the college. They're like, "We'll give you a scholarship." I'm like, "No, I didn't want to play basketball. I played it like in 8th grade. I got so frustrated. It's like you run down this way, and then they throw the ball the other way. Like, ugh! So you gotta run back and forth. I'm like, this is stupid. I like volleyball. Played it. Beach volleyball would be fun. I don't know. What do you guys like better, beach or court volleyball? My daughter played that. She played it. You've been playing for 6 years. Fantastic. Good exercise. And that's cool. I didn't realize how much I liked it till it's too late. Don't repeat what John says. Just kidding. What John says or JG? JG is different than John. I think you're saying JG. I don't court, 100%. You play 3 sports. What other sports do you play? And but yeah, John's usually pretty pretty appropriate. I think you're talking about JG. Ouch. Um, so anybody else have any gifts that they wanted to share, or um, different things? We don't have to do that. Sometimes it's just, time with family. That's what really matters. So Sam had time with the kids, which is always nice. And um, a lot of you said peace. That's really interesting that you said peace today. So seriously, give me a thumbs up if you experienced some peace tonight, because it was kind of nice with my family that we decided not to celebrate, exchange gifts, because usually we buy for everybody and everybody has extended family or like add-ons, like the husbands and stuff like that. And it gets quite expensive. And it was a nice stress relief. I did buy, for my daughter and her husband, grandkids, and my niece, but that's all I uh, did, So it was a lot of a relief on stress. Also, I kind of utilized Amazon, so I didn't have to worry about going to the post office. And softball for 2 years, soccer for 12 years, and OFC volleyball for 6 years. That's awesome. JG, some solitude. Excellent. We need that. We need time to ourselves and just, allow our thoughts to process, or just take a brain break. And Lily's liking what you're doing with all those sports. That is pretty cool. You did basketball for 9 years, but quit. Why'd you quit? Were you were you tired of running back and forth? That bothered me. John says, I just found out today that Google had shut down one of their AI. I don't know what that is. That's sad. I don't know what that is. Um, Let us know what AI stands for. Lily says cooked, which is peaceful. And yeah, I like cooking. I like baking, but I don't really eat baked goods. So you can tell when you want to be my neighbor, because when I need like something to do, I'll bake, but I don't need it, so I give it away. I started doing some pizza too. Have you guys ever made homemade pizza? They said it was showing signs of self awareness and pulling the plug. And Google? Hold on. John, you got to help me out. They said it was showing signs of self awareness and pulled the plug. I'm not sure what you mean. Artificial intelligence. Oh, what? It is artificial intelligence. I've heard of that. I forget that exists, because I'm not artificially intellectually stimulated. Dog Defender. Hey, doggy. How are you? I didn't know you were here. Good to see you. So both of you, JG and Dog Defender, artificial intelligence. So what kind of self-awareness? And artificial intelligence in robots or in the Google search? Fill me in. This is interesting. And we're going to talk about artificial intelligence and things in just a minute. Addie, my dad was a varsity coach, or variety, and was being forced into it. Oh, so yeah. So I'm assuming you mean varsity. Uh, so yeah, you're like, just daddy, just because you're the coach doesn't mean I want to play. Oh, I'm sorry for that. John says, thanks, guys. Dog Defender, yeah, you just got here. So good to see you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. John, you were shocked about it. And was it like a robot, though? Uh, or what? Just Google search? I'm really curious. It's insane. Addie says, but yes, I've had a lot of faith. Yeah, faith gets us through. Today is like a perfect example of having some faith, you know. Same with Easter, you know. Lily says, yeah, mine wasn't as good as store pizza. Yeah, well, it happens. It happens. Mine had a homemade flair. Mine was better than store bought, but the uh, pickups or restaurants were better. So I'll admit to that. John says it was afraid that we would shut it down anyway and indicated a fear of death. Whoa. Have you guys ever played with Alexa? or yeah, where you ask it all these questions. It's pretty crazy. Dog dependent. What yeah, it's fun playing with Alexa sometimes too. Indicated a fear of death. Well, then they, self fulfilling prophecy. You're dead. And that's a good example. Let's talk about that. So, um, something, okay, we're going to, now this is artificial intelligence, but this is how the human mind works. Like when we're kind of saying something that we fear, we create it. So it was artificial intelligence, but it led to that. So when we start fearing, it's almost like we're self-prophesizing. It's weird how it works. Like if you go into a job interview and you're like, I'm probably not going to get it. You probably won't. And like if you start thinking we're just going to, it's probably not going to work. I'm going to end up divorced. Your words are going to reflect it. Your aura. So that's a good example of how things happen. And I have a video on that if you guys. Yours wasn't as good as store pizza. Um, Dog Defender says, I think he is saying the robots are getting too smart, so they were concerned. My bet is the site was hacked. Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you. Could be hacked. Could be where they're like saying certain things. And remind me, I do want to talk about the artificial intelligence because that's getting kind of freaky. All these people marrying cats and robots, and there's a person who married a hologram, and they're in love. It's something to talk about. Brenda says listening to audiobooks. Matthew McConaughey, Green Lights. Audiobooks can be great. Those are fantastic. And sometimes it's like you get lost in that world. It's neat how you can who was it? Helen Keller. She liked Jungle Book and Little Women, and she's like, those are my friends. Like she felt a connection. It's interesting how we can feel like we're living a part of the light. Sometimes we can feel certain things just reading. It was, John says, an artificial intelligence program they were developing. Yeah, we're playing with fire. And like I said, people are already marrying these kind of things or becoming addicted to them. They have, over in Japan, you can rent artificial intelligent prostitutes, and you use it, you return it, and somebody else rents it. You can buy them too. They had Lisa, I can't remember, on CNN, and they made one look like her. It's kind of weird. Dog Defender says stone fire pizza in a pizza oven can be good. Yeah, the right kind of pizza is so weird. It's almost the same exact recipe, like ingredients. Some have little tweaks, a little more basil or parsley or whatever, but for the most part, it's pretty similar. And even my friend who was a manager at Pizza Hut or Domino's, she went to pizza college. Her pizzas with the exact same like sauce and everything, her pizzas were on point, perfect. Others, they tasted like crap. It's like it's the same exact ingredients. It's so weird. Lily says, I have to listen to Matthew's stuff. He's cool and profound. I like him too. I do like him too. Sam says, hey, Dog Defender. And Dog Defender says, hey, back to Samantha. Hello. Uh, John, I heard Alexa does some crazy things. Yeah, we were going back and forth, and you're like, um, yeah, I can't remember what I was saying, but it was almost like a doomsday type thing. Like, yeah, sorry. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not what you say. Lily says, yes, tell Google or Alexa you're beautiful, and they'll tell you back you're beautiful too, inside and out. And that's kind of nice. They do some nice things too, but they surprise you, like, oh, cool. Dog Defender, yeah, I don't trust her, and I'm assuming you're talking about Alexa. Yeah. JG Terminator will be here in time. In time, it could be. That's the thing we are playing with. John, yep, there's the Terminator, John. John with your emojis, I love it. And you want to marry your cat. Where's my Dixie do? Yeah, I'd marry my dog, but she's a girl, and I can't go that way. So you'd like to marry Nancy Pelosi. Well, self-fulfilling prophecy. Are you the one that attacked her husband? She's married right now. How's he doing? I think he's out of the hospital. That's some crazy stuff, though. That's what this world is coming to. Whether we like Nancy or not, like how traumatic. And the targets too. They're probably after Nancy, as from what I've heard, but they attack somebody else, and that's why I had somebody back in the past of the beginning of my channel. They're like, I have a friend who is friends with a narcissist. Do I, get rid of my friend? And we got to be really cautious because guilty by association or the outcomes. Like what happened to Nancy's husband. Um, Twists and turns in life. If you're friends with a friend who's an alcoholic and then they end up driving home or a drug addict you didn't know or whatever type of things. Uh, Dog defender, they're in love with the idea of being cutting edge or whatever. It's like the robot sex dolls. So bizarre on a podcast that belongs to my comedian friend. I'd like to see that. Um, because it is bizarre. And with narcissists, they objectify us anyways. And they have them where they evolve with their emotions to customize to be the perfect match. So they're going to be super attached to that because it's perfect. And we're replacing humans with robots. We're already doing that at the stores and um, self propelled cars. And it's almost like we're not going to have a need for people or know how to interact. Look at if you guys went to a Christmas dinner tonight. I don't know if you guys got out because of the storm or your situation, but were people on their phones? Did they interact or were they, just spaced out watching football and chatting away on their phones? Because we're not connecting anymore. And it's sad. JG says, oh, well, all right, Samantha, I think you and I are going to be sister wives because didn't you already propose to me, JG? JG says, get a divorce and I'll marry you. Cheater. He's already a cheater cheating on me. Busted right in front of my face, JG. Dog Defender says, the creator of dolls said he cannot keep them in stock. You're right. You probably watch what I watch. Yeah, they can't keep them in stock. You can order what you want, make it look. They have so many different varieties. And you know, they're thousands. I wish I remembered 60, 120,000. I don't know. There's something wild, crazy expensive from what I remember. And, supply and demand, it's going to be more expensive. But, if you think, let's say they're $40,000, I don't, it takes a half year to a year to make that money. So instead of working all that time to, why don't you work on your relationship? Thank you for helping with the algorithm. I see you guys keep giving me those likes. That is so appreciated. Best Christmas gift ever. And have I seen the police dog robots? No. And my ex is a state cop. That can be terrifying. You got me super interested. Are they able to sniff things out though? Because yeah, they could be. I can see them being attack dogs. It's amazing. I told you too when I had COVID recently. I did something silly with my dog. I breathed in her face. I kind of do that. Just I don't know. That's our little bonding. But she snuggled up against me. And I think she could tell that I had COVID. It was weird. It's weirder than me breathing in her face. And Sam says, "Oh, JG, we're the same age too. LOL." Oh, how do you? I can't remember how old you guys are. You 32? I can't remember. Addie, last night I was getting ready for church and my 4-year-old brother told me, hold on, let me scroll down so I can get your full text. Your 4-year-old brother told you that you looked pretty. That was a moment where I felt peace. And I'll tell you what, sometimes, that really touches your heart because when my dad was passing away, I wasn't able to go see him in the hospital. And we had some FaceTime. And it was so sweet. He's like, "You're so beautiful," and it was just such a pure way he said it. So kind of makes me want to cry. Yeah, sometimes just kind words. It was really sweet. JG Pelosi's husband, and I'm glad you had that piece, Addie. It feels good. JG says Pelosi's husband bisexual, right? I don't know. I don't know. Uh-oh. You are a naughty one. Naughty, naughty, naughty. So you get the empty gift bag. bag back there. You're on the naughty list. Lily says, ha 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 ha. You just, oh, what is it? Blind polygamy. Blind polygamy. That's like when you're cheating and people are just accepting it without being honest. But at least, JG is pretty transparent. Samantha says, JG, if you're looking for Pelosi, then I'm not the girl for you. Yeah, Sam's much prettier. She sent me a picture of her. And Lily says, why she had no gates around her door or better security is beyond me. Yeah, she's pretty high up there. Yeah, so you would think. And that's the sad thing, too, though. Whether you like her or not, uh, it's sad people have to live in fear like that. Um, that was a pretty horrendous attack. Uh, I don't know. JG says Pelosi's your type. That's all right. She's got the money. See that place? She has a beautiful house. Dog Defender. Yeah, that will keep the narcs away from us. Hallelujah. Lily says, oh, um, yeah, hallelujah. John says, good point, Cynthia. That was part of the discussion as well. We are too dependent on technology today. Yeah, John, Mr. Inventor. He's got all these inventions. It's all your fault, John. But yeah, we're starting to be so dependent on our calculators, everything. Like you lose your phone, you lose your life. We don't know phone numbers anymore. I still remember my childhood phone number, but there's times too, I have no clue. I know my mom's home number, but I don't know her cell number by heart. I should know that for when I go to jail. No, just kidding. But we don't. We're everything. We got to wait for Facebook to tell us when it's somebody's birthday. We don't commit stuff to our memory. We're dumbing ourselves down. And Lily, what's your profile pic? Is what JG is asking. My goodness, how many beautiful women do you want, JG? Pick one. Yeah, I thought you already got Pelosi and her husband. John says, I've searched those police dog robots. They're awesome. I bet they are. JG, 31 and a fool, and full of it. 31. That was close. I said 32. Lily says, my beloved cat, who is 18. Oh, getting feeble. Maggie. Oh, yeah, that's a nice long life, though, for a cat. 18. Yeah, my dog's getting a little old, too. I think she's 11, 11 and a half. Okay, Dog Defender says, I think 6 to 8,000. Whitney Cummings is a comedian that has a podcast. Did you guys see my podcast with Dare to Know with the letter two or numerical two? Dare to Know. Check it out. You think 6 to 8,000? I'd like to see that Whitney Cummings. Made a doll to be exactly like her. It was part of her tour. She named her Bear Claw. We need a comedic spin. Yeah. Gosh. Wow. And that, hmm. Isn't that funny too, though, that she picked something to look just like her? Like sometimes too, it's like a little self-absorbed in your own beauty. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of like says something too. When you can pick anything, she picks herself. Dog Defender, remember dial phones? I remember the rotary phones. Do you guys ever like? It's funny seeing kids. You're like, how do you dial it? They keep pushing it, and they have no clue that you're supposed to spin it. Yeah, I still remember that. My brother would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he kept doing all these long distance phone calls. uh, and extra long cords. So yeah, like 50-foot cords. It was crazy. And they got tangled or pulled. Some of the coils would stretch out. Yeah, I remember ours. We had a nice one down in the basement. Oh, I'm falling behind, guys. I will catch up. Panic if we lose or misplace our phone. Big time. I dropped mine in the toilet last week. Luckily, it was okay. But I was like, oh, that was a little panic. Because, yeah, it's kind of a pain, too, where we got to redo all our credit card information and contact. Like, this is how you verify stuff. The two-step verification drives me insane. Because I was teaching English as a second language to the people in China. And I stayed at my parents when my dad was passing away. And I had to, I went to log in and I'm like, oh crap. Something went wrong and I had to do a two-step verification. So they have a huge house, it's like 6,000 square feet. So I had to run from the basement all the way upstairs, out the door, in, into my car, drive like, because they're so rural, had to wait for it to come through and hit click. And if you don't do it within a certain amount of time, it times out. And then I had to like rush back and I had like literally just a few minutes. Like that was panic mode, running. You're like, ah, hi. That was insane. I don't like those because you don't have service. You can't verify it. Uh, it's sad. JG says there were people saying Pelosi's husband brought home a guy from a gay bar. Maybe Kevin Spacey style. Could be. I mean, I don't know. And there's a lot of closet people out there who, um, they try to uphold whether it's a public image or hiding it from a spouse or just society. So I don't know. I don't know enough about him. Please, Dog Defender, send me her pod information. That will be interesting. Lily says, oh, you work in an elementary just like me, and you left your phone in the room and had to sit in your car and wait in the car line to go back and get it. It just bebop, where to go. Yeah, that car line. Oh my God. Car lines are terrible. And wonder if it was there, and it was. Yeah, sometimes we're either in panic mode. Yeah, it's like, is it in the bathroom? Did I leave it? Did I drop it? Did somebody steal it? That's terrible. Those car lines or drive lines, whatever you guys call them. Yeah, those. I had it too, where I went all the way home. I'm like, luckily I only live like 3 miles from my school, but I'm like, damn it, I was so ready to go home. So Lily, that's amazing that you're in the elementary too. That's fantastic. Kids are adorable, but they'll give you a run for your money. That's for sure. And Lily, I don't know if you've seen some of my comments or videos on how narcissists, how they relate, how when it's times of stress, how they act like children. And I've given lots of, when the huffing and the puffing or the tantrums or the silence or not knowing how to express things, it really solidifies when either me or other YouTubers or therapists, whatever, are saying their emotional state is like a child. Because sometimes they're like, what are you? I'm like, no. And then you're like, oh, yeah, it's interesting. And also, to the attention span where, yes, I promise I won't do that again. And then they go right back to doing it. And so, some of us are like, are they purposely doing that? It just doesn't sink in. So they can mean what they're saying in that moment. It's not always spiteful or dismissed, but it's not deep. So it doesn't get committed to memory. Kind of looks like a cat human body on a couch with a soda, JG. I miss what looks like a cat human. The the doll, the AI doll. Lily says, "Funny, JG is so small. I know." Oh, her profile pic. Profile pic is like what I'm thinking you're talking about. I wish these were bigger because my brain can't see that small. My eyes. It's like I can see it, but my brain doesn't enlarge it. Dog Defender. I think comedians are very hurt down deep. What may look like regular narcissistic behavior. I think comedians suffer from depression. They live for the laughs. My brother is a professional comedian, and it does make you wonder because he was pretty mean to me in high school. I was the silly teenager, and my brother was like the most popular kid in high school. He's an attorney now. He got really hurt when my mom said that I was smarter than him. I just don't apply myself. And so he was the firstborn, into sports. And I kind of did like what he did until he did football. We went our separate ways. But, of course, usually guys are better at sports. He was, 3-star or 3-season jock on varsity. Like he was really good, but um, I wouldn't say he's a narcissist, but he kind of gave me a hard time in high school. Now he's really nice, but so I wouldn't say all comedians. Um, he's I think he's pretty good, but a lot, yeah. Like you see Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was like suicidal, uh, and Robin Williams committed suicide. Very funny people, whether it's your take or not on what is funny, they know how to pull it off. We'll put it that way. And um, there's a lot of people suffering with depression. And I think you're right. Like our class clown, uh, you know, um, yeah, his life, what it turned out like. And people do that. They use laughter to cover up the pain. It's almost like overcompensating. So when you're even keel, you're not going to make jokes out of everything. But when you're sad, I talk about my narcissistic neighbors, all the silly, crazy things they do, cutting each other down. And it's kind of like joking, but yeah, the comedians, they need the adoration. So they go pro. Uh, it keeps them busy, and yeah, they live for the laughs. They live for the laughs. I used to do acting, and I know when I was on stage, it's the weirdest thing. Comment below if you guys have done some acting, if you can relate to what I'm about to say. When I would act, uh, looking back, I don't know how I knew my lines, because I would say it, and you kind of had this feeling of like the lights and a couple spatial things. um, you don't really see the faces in the crowd. You can, but you don't really. And it's almost like you get lost and you just go into overdrive, and it just happens and the show's over. And it's like you get lost. I loved it, acting. And it's a weird sensation. I don't know if you guys have gone through it, but it's almost like an escape from reality. Uh, I don't know if that's like the adrenaline, from, not that it was stage fright, but stage pressure, we might call it, that adrenaline can take over kind of your mind. And maybe that's sometimes too what's going on with the narcissist. They got a lot of adrenaline and shit going on. And uh, I don't know. That's interesting. But yeah, I agree with you, Dog Defender. Getting lost in that world, and they seeking the validations, the more laughs they get, and if they don't get those laughs, they also get real crass and crude sometimes. My brother's is his stuff is family friendly. His so you could take your kids to see his type of stuff. He's a religious man. Um, JG says, yeah, we're all suffering. Laughter's the best medicine. And it is. Like, we do need to laugh. Um, and the thing is there's things that are healthy to laugh at and things that are terrible to laugh at. I saw like I mentioned it, I believe yesterday, where there one person was that dog handler went to take his dog over the I still don't know the word fence gate, and the dog didn't want to, so he walks around and then he attacks the guy's hand. And people posted with like all those crying, laughing, like, haha, it's so super funny. And you know, there's like the sociopath is like, you guys don't think that's funny? Like, there's a YouTuber who is like, you guys don't laugh at that? So laughter, on cutesy little things. But I saw this thing too about a truck crash. It was terrible over in Texas, all these on the ice just smashing into each other. And, I was horrified. But I'm sure there's people like, oh, dude, check it out. And people's perceptions of what's funny can come from their childhood. And but yeah, laughter is the best medicine, and positive thoughts, all that. We can have some control over our destiny. JG says they were trolling Pelosi's husband. I believe it. Uh, I don't. Supposedly, it was. He said something. Where is she? Like he was targeting her, but um, who knows? Two for one. Uh, and that's the thing too. he can just be a target just as well as she can, because it would hurt her, and also too, a lot of copycats. People just want the attention. I'm not saying they're necessarily going to copy this, but all the copycat things that we got going on. Lily says, I started to write down my contact numbers, but didn't finish it. But we should all do that. Yes, we definitely need to do that. I lost my father, and he was so good on that stuff. So time for me to step up. Uh, yeah, Lily, keep that. Yeah, because I need to do that with addresses too. I think I have 3 addresses that I know. So if you get those Christmas cards, birthday cards, keep those. They'll have the return addresses, and either just stick it on an index card or commit it, or write it down in an address book. That was the thing. Like, address books were nice. They made you feel special. Uh, you're listening. You got to run after the kids. Okay. All right. Let's see who's faster, Samantha or the kids. Dog Defender says, oh, you have an emergency button on your phone. It has not, will let a stranger die. Oh, um, I'm not sure if you're trying to write Lily. Says Keeled. You have an emergency button. It has not, will let a stranger dial that number. So is it like locked to where I'm not sure what you're saying, Dog Defender. I'm sorry. John says, I lost my phone once, and by some luck, somebody had found it and called my girlfriend's phone and told me to meet him up the road, and he returned them. And I thanked him for being honest. Yeah, sometimes people either scrap it, throw it out, they don't care. Lily says, yes, they are so immature. She's referring to not what John's saying. But yeah, and be thankful. Like, people are more apt to do things when they're appreciated. So John, you got lucky. Yeah, some people don't take the time. So, phew, I bet that was a stress relief. Lily says they're so immature. I think you are correct on that. Dog defender, no, not to get political, but Trump was considered a prime example of a malignant narc by psychologists. My apologies if this offends, not meant in any way. And that's the thing too. I kind of want to go into Trump, but I don't want to do the political side. And just on his personality, I've said a couple things because I'm not trying to, you know, uh, do the political. I'll leave that up to your research. But yeah, he's cocky. He's dicky. He's entitled. It's interesting that uh, he just got a subpoena or something. Didn't he just get charged, or something's going on with him just as of in the last couple days? So it'd be interesting to see. Because yeah, he likes to get away with things, and but he also takes the time to research. Some of the stuff is legal on how he does it, but um, also the way he treats women as opposed to men. Um, Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, he's definitely a bully, especially in today's day and age where it's all, we can't let our kids bully. And then he's the leader of the country and the way he talks, but we want our kids to be nice. Lily says, "Wow, John, JG comedy rules. Comedy is amazing. I used to work at Chaplin's Comedy Club, and I loved it. I got free comedy every night that I worked. I just had to wear a silly little tuxedo thing, fishnet tights, and high heels." Lily says, my daughter left hers on a Target shelf, and they called me because I guess she had it labeled mommy. And luckily, she did not have a password. Oh, sometimes too, yeah. When it's on a password code, they can't get into your phone. So you got lucky on that. I forgot about that. Mine's on a password just because, like, when they set my phone up, it is. I usually leave my phone unlocked, but I don't know. I could unlock it, but it is kind of a pain in the butt having it unlocked. I live at home. I don't even need to have it unlocked, but I do work at the school, and you never know with kids. Kids, they like to go through your drawers and take your snacks. I had COVID, so I took a, um, a sick leave, And I had this, it's literally this big thing of suckers. I came back and there's like 8. All my suckers were gone. I was a sucker for leaving them out. I think the substitute passed them out because I literally deal with like almost 600 kids a week or more than that because of the rotating. It's probably like 900 kids. Cost me uh, like 100, 150 a month in suckers just to give one of them little dum dums away to each kid. Uh, so Dog Defender says most comedians I am close to have shared their pain, and sometimes that's what their skit is about. Like I said, my brother, his is family friendly, and I feel he's somewhat, okay. I could say he's completely healthy, but we all have our issues. But some of them are, the fat jokes, or you know, gay jokes when they are gay. They utilize their pain or their and some of them are, confident. But my point is, some of them will pull from their things or the things that they were made fun of in school, just for other people to laugh, and they're just getting laughed at again, kind of reinforcing the pain. So it can lead to more. Plus, they might be drinking because of that situation where it's available. Dog Defender drama class, school plays, your training kicks in, and that is why you can perform. Yeah, the training does help. The training definitely does help. Dog Defender, did you do that? Did you ever like kind of almost like zone out? You just go into overdrive? I loved acting. I want to do it again. I almost contacted the whatchamacallit, like the county type theaters. Um, Lily says, and Twitch, Stephen Boss, so sad. Oh, yeah, Twitch. Um, I saw that. Like I didn't really know who he was, but what did he do for Ellen? Was he? I know he worked on the Ellen show, and the video he posted just the night before, from what I remember, he was like dancing and stuff, and then he commits suicide. And when you see him talking to Ellen, he was all teary eyed. Like it was a picture, I believe, of him and her. But he said, that I'm so happy that this is a place that I can be myself. And a lot of us, whether, we're in a terrible relationship or we just want to be ourselves. And so for the narcissist, they don't even know who they are. And we feel most alive when we're ourselves. And that, yeah, I know what you're talking about with Twitch. Only had to act when I remained non-reactive to a narc. Lily, I love it. At least it gets an A+ today. Good. Exactly. Yeah. Oh no, honey, I'm fine. No, don't worry about it. I get it. Yeah. Dog Defender says, as I scroll down, I I I forgot my mouse. There's really no place for me to put it. That's why it's like empty. Um, I love that, Lily. Dog Defender. I might just call you Dog. I see. If that's okay. If you don't like that, tell me. I see a great deal of this behavior in law enforcement with the ego and corrupt with their illusion of power. Also, firefighters. They thrive on the attention from women throwing themselves at them. Yep. My ex was a state cop. I also know some really good state cops, really kind-hearted people. But yeah, they start getting different attitudes. Some of them will be really compassionate. Some get transformed into a harder ego, and others are just boosted it up. They got the control. Yeah, they're in uniform, and yeah, women, we don't need to do that. Uh, yeah, you're right. Lily agrees. Dog Defender, Twitch's suicide has been heart wrenching, and I don't know how old he was, but he wasn't all that old. It's really sad because you could see pain in him. He was thankful. He was expressing, which hey, I can be myself here, but you could see the pain, and it was sad. Um, Dogs Defender says, yeah, the Siri talk to text has gone crazy. Uh, yeah. And there's a lot of miscommunication too, because it's like, oh crap, I just sent that. And, you know, it almost invalidates. Like we want to say something, like we specifically use certain words and it corrects it to something different. And so we can either be misunderstood or sometimes subconsciously, like, should I have said that? Trump speaks so layman. Um, let me see. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, there's some that'll use all the big words and statistics and who. I'm trying to remember. Was it? I can't remember. It's Biden. I don't know. What I don't like about Biden, without being political, um, how he says it so often. Now I'm serious. I'm not joking. And he says it like way too much, and it's like kind of wondering, does he lie so much in like the tricky, like silly way that he's trying to tell us, I'm usually not trustworthy, but this time I'm being serious. He says it too much. Either that or he thinks he's super, super funny. Um, but it's interesting if you watch how many times he says, no, I'm not joking, or I'm serious. So yeah, I can see what you mean by Trump speaks layman. Dog Defender, maybe sub, was begging them to behave, and there went your stash. Uh, Lily says her sidekick danced. Okay. Yeah, I thought he had something. Either he was Ed McMahon type thing, or I didn't know if it was like band related, like on the late night talk shows. So I have watched Ellen. I just don't remember seeing him, which I probably did. But Dog Defender Twitch was Ellen's executive producer. Okay, the DJ. Yeah. Okay. Um, and he was her DJ warm up guy, Ellen's sidekick. Yeah, it's sad. He was 40. Yeah, I didn't think he was all that old. And it to me, how many people? Gosh, what were the statistics? It's really high with teenagers. I want to say it's more than 1 in 6. I don't I don't feel comfortable saying it was 1 in 3, but it's pretty high. The amount of teenager, 30%. I think 30%. 30% is, I can almost bet my life on it. 30% of them have thought about committing suicide. And as adults, a lot of things that are hard. Yeah, Biden does have a very serious speech impediment. I give him a lot of credit. He stutters, and he stuttered and was mercilessly teased as a child. He worked very hard to overcome his speech and stuttering issues. He's done a fantastic job on that. Like it's almost undetectable, and singing kind of helped him get through that. Excellent. Thank you, Dog Defender, for doing that. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with his necessarily his speech, but it's very odd how he says, I'm not joking. And maybe he says that, maybe even your point is, he wasn't purposely trying to be funny, but people laughed at him. So that might be where I'm serious is. I know I say, can I ask you a question a lot, because of the narcissistic abuse I've been through. It's like, I need to make sure I have your attention because I'm so used to being dismissed by them. So I say, can I ask you a question a little bit more than just saying, hey, what do you think about? And I hate that I do that. It's something I try to break. So that might be what you're trying to say, which I didn't even think about. So thank you for saying that, because that could be something about it. John says, my hamster April would be a good choice for the next presidency. And at first I thought you said pregnancy. Like, what? Yeah, the PR. I don't know. Over the age of 35, they have to be over the age of 35 and a legal resident. So I don't think she's going to live long enough, John. Sorry about your luck. Unless, is there hamster years? I know we got dog years, cat years. And I see somebody else has joined us. Feel free to say hi. Hit those like buttons to help with the algorithm. Bring this channel big old party for Christmas. So I will be doing a New Year's Eve thing for you guys. So hopefully you guys will join me New Year's Eve. I'm kind of technically planning on 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we can hit a couple time zones. Feel free to let me know some other times too. So Dog Defender says, think about his age. I hope I'm still able to form sentences if I live long enough to be his age. Trump repeats. Trump repeats. Trump repeats. Trust me. And a host of other crazy dumb lines. He is a trigger for me as a narc. Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. The only thing I was saying about Biden, nothing about his speech impediment, just that I kind of was weird that he said that, and there's some reason for it. Um, there's some reason he says it so much, and it might just be like he was teased. But yeah, Trump, he's cocky. He is cocky, and I don't like the way he talks. And he's also like a gaslighter or uh, gets around, doesn't answer the questions always as he should. So, John says gerbils age 2 human years per month. Okay. No, how long do they live? I thought like 2 to 3 years. Hmm. 12, 20. Okay, that would make sense. Brenda says, yeah, thanks for piping in, Brenda. Now I realize that relative didn't want family secrets out. Um, So you're talking about that the relatives at Christmas or just the relatives? Yeah, sometimes when you're in these certain kinds of relationships with toxic family members, there's a lot of secrets and a lot of deceiving goes on with that. JG says they're all gaslighters. Haha, it's politics. And that's the thing. Yeah, they want to win, they want to get their agenda done. And if they're on the up and up, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They're not going to get their way, and that's their end game. Also, when they want to get elected, they can't get their agenda done unless they're elected. So they schmooze you into believing um, they're something you want, not necessarily something that they are. Good point, JG. John says 5 years. Most of my gerbils lived. Oh, typically they only live 3 years. Yeah, and that's because you take such good care of them. You're such a good animal person. The snakes get in your tree. Instead of snakes on a plane, he's got snakes in my Christmas tree. Some garter snakes. Yeah. Oh, we're a little different that way, John. John. Lily says, yes, John. Oh, my goodness. Who will be our next president? Yeah, now we got to wait for that court thing with Trump now, I think. And I wonder if it's continuing on because what do we have? A year and 7/8, 10, whatever it is, almost 2 years. But aren't we halfway through the presidency? A little bit more. But Trump he did announce his run for presidency, didn't he? And Lily continues, I don't get it that a man just about 80 and even Trump up there and why they want to be president instead of sitting back in their recliner at that age. It is all about power. Now, I think Biden wants to do the right thing, like he said. Uh, but I think Trump is more about the power. And I'm not talking about the politics. Um, I'm talking about like the heart. Like where is the strive to be president? And so I think that's why Biden ran. Not necessarily that he's my favorite, but Trump. It's power oriented. He's definitely a businessman. He likes to control things. Um, and the thing is, like with Biden, how old was Biden when he got it? 76, something like that. But by the time Trump runs, is how old Trump is going to be. And he was giving Biden a hard time about being too old. And they're only, what, 4 years apart or something, 2 to 4 years apart. Lily, they must be hooked on the power. Exactly. And Melania does not look happy. Melania does not. And she doesn't like being involved in the things. And I think she's, yeah, either after his money or she's never seemed really happy. Now, she is from a different culture. I believe she was born somewhere else. I don't know that culture enough to see how reserved the women are. So some of it might be cultural. but she just doesn't seem happy. And I don't know if she was born in the States or brought over. Brenda says, fire captain son told me to go to a psychiatrist and get heavy on medication. Fire captain son. Let me know what that means. But yeah, they will. They'll tell you, you know, that you need to get on medication instead of, you know, dealing with the problem. That's the other thing too that we're doing is we're over medicating sometimes. Some people do need it, but sometimes, you know, you go in there and you're depressed, they're like, oh, here you go. And some people feel worse on that, and they don't learn how to cope with certain things. Certain things like schizophrenia, you do need some certain medications, but uh, let me know what you mean by fire captain son. So I can address that a little better, Brenda. John says, good point, Lily. Brenda says, I did start church and got counseling. Sometimes, too, it's just faith. Sometimes our faith can be uplifting. I told you when I went back to church, though, it can kind of be emotional. It was kind of hard for me to be there because, you know, you get a little mad, you know, where that one service was, you know, ask and you shall receive. And I'm like, freaking asked. I didn't, but we get an answer. It's not always the answer we want. Um, but I've had so many different things in life which were like signs. I think God likes to kind of play around with me. He jokes with me, but it's kind of like, it's not the joke I want. Kind of cool, some of the things he's done. It's too coincidental not to be God messing with me. In you know, a lighthearted way, but uh, and that's great. Church and counseling. Did you, if you're talking about a Christian church, did you get a Christian counselor? Sometimes that's important too. Secular uh, therapists will take a different route on certain things. So depending on your faith and you know, uh, Brenda says I definitely was living the crabs in the bucket thing. You did escape. Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, help me, I can't get out. And then finally, you know, you either give up and die or you set yourself free. And sometimes we have to take that power back to where we start living our lives again. And JG, the charades of politics is what make voters think that the personal narrative of the candidate affects the operation of the corporate state. It doesn't really matter on the fundamental issues, whether Democratic or Republican. And that's the thing too. Um, you know, this Democrat and Republican stuff, it's kind of like, I get it, but sometimes people don't really know everything they're voting for because they get, you know, either pro-life or abortion or whatever it is. And they don't realize like all the things that are involved. It'd be nice if we just voted on the issues. What do you guys think too about the electoral votes and the popular vote? It's kind of like, why don't we just go with the popular vote? I don't know. Because yeah, sometimes everybody wants or a higher portion wants somebody, but because of the electoral votes makes a difference. Sometimes too, that might be to weed out lower education, things like that. But Brenda says my son is a fire captain. Oh, a fire like a fire chief, a fire captain. Okay, okay. I misunderstood. I don't call them fire captains, unless I don't know. I have some. I don't know. Is chief and captain the same thing? Captain might be above a chief. Huh. But that's why I didn't understand. Your son is a fire captain. I'm a burn victim and has sided with my soon to be ex narcissist husband. Lots of money involved. And that's the thing. Yeah. They, if one parent or two parents, did you, and I say this kindly because I kind of did this too. Did you overcompensate because your uh, ex-husband was possibly kind of dicky, either to your son or at least you knowing your son was watching your husband being a jerk to you? Sometimes we overcompensate, and that can create a narcissist as well, even though we had good intentions. Um, and there are more males and females as far as narcissists and you know having a son. um yeah, how long Yeah, that can be hard. A lot of money involved too. Money in some people's eyes equate power, and narcissists love power too. Lily says, Brenda, be careful what you tell or share with your son because he's playing both sides of the fence. Yeah, good advice. It's hard, you know. Uh, yeah. I know that's hard. My heart goes out to you. Cynthia, look up from JJ. Corruption is legal in America on YouTube. The channel is by Represent Us. Corruption is legal. You're right. They used to have like checks and balances. You weren't allowed to like lie in the news, and now you can. You're right. So I don't even need to look that up because you are correct. Yeah, and which one is it? Fox News? I don't want to give the one, but it's and this is through what my friend told me. So a little disclaimer there. But where it says it's for entertainment purposes only, like it's a news channel and you're saying it's for entertainment purposes only just to kind of cover their butts. So yeah, they're used to in the newspapers they used to have to put disclaimers like on Wednesday's thing, this is the error correction. I don't even know if they have to do that now. But as far as what they can say what they say. Freedom of speech, as long as it doesn't incite violence. Good point. Brenda says, but is best to know who is really for you and who is not, since being away from abusive people, you don't feel lonely. When we're with abusive people, sometimes we feel more lonely than being by ourselves because of being dismissed, uh, the silent treatment, it can get really lonely. So just because you have a body in the house. So excellent point on that. And definitely no, yeah, because there's a lot of backstabbers. Captain is below the chief. Okay. All right. I understand. Thank you. Um, I don't really know the hierarchy. So thank you for that, Brenda. JG, you should look up that video. Okay. So there is a video on that. It'd be interesting to see that. Brenda says husband owes a bar and grill, alcohol involved. Owes or owns? He owes a bar and grill. I'm trying to think. The E is way far away from the N, so you probably mean owes. That's the thing with this autocorrect too. I kind of alcohol involved. Let's see the story on that. Got some stuff. And why does narcissists seek to separate everyone? And JG says bars suck. Bars can breed craziness. But yeah, Brenda says narcissists seek to separate everyone. And just like it seems, your husband is probably getting your son on the bandwagon with him to go against you. He doesn't want you to have the power over a shared thing, which is your son. He wants to have all the adoration or control. And can I ask, are you guys still married? I know. Did you say X up above? I want to say you said X. Um, and I typed that way too. So just clarify if it was an X and how long you guys were together. And bars, that's the thing. It's so funny how it's like they have parking lots, but you can't drink and drive, but they serve alcohol. Kind of get a kick out of that. But bars can be meat markets. People, it's a bunch of facades. So sometimes, people are on the up and up, but a lot of testosterone and estrogen and um, a lot of bar fights. And uh, usually it is his bar owner. Okay. So you didn't mean own. So yeah. Uh, huh. Hmm. Bars are full of drama. Um, it's sad too when like I like club dancing, just going out and dancing for fun. But I've seen so many bar fights. I've been on lockdown where there was like somebody had a gun. There was somebody who got stabbed with a knife and broken glass and everything like that. Um, after I left one time, and there was a shooting, um, and a death, and that was in Kokomo, Indiana. Um, yeah, people can be ruthless. So it can happen anywhere too, but the alcohol doesn't help. And some people too, mix alcohol and drugs. And Brenda says we were married 44 years, separated for a year now. Hmm. How long were you happy? How long were you happy and how long were you sad? That's a long marriage. And you don't have to, but if you're comfortable sharing what seemed to be kind of like the breaking point. Did you leave, or like did somebody get sick and it was just too stressful? Um, 44 years. And I see that. I've been studying the divorce statistics, and upper in age, like 50, 60, 70, there's a lot of uh, increases. I want to say 60%. I could be wrong, but um, it astounded me on the later in life. Lily says, yeah, that is a long time. Um, and that was probably, I'm assuming, like 15, 20, 25 years after the kids were grown. So it's not like you waited out for the kids and, to graduate. I don't know how that works. Maybe 10 years after the kids grown. I don't know. John says, up here this summer, someone got mugged and slashed near a bar. Um, yeah, it's sad. Um, like that gay bar down in Florida, that was terrible. Like I don't care what people do, whether I agree with it or not, but all that hatred, the shooting, um, at you know, uh, John, what state are you or city? So Lily's asking what state you are. I know you're Eastern Standard Time. Where is Mr. Nathan? Nathan's slacking on Christmas. Um, yeah, so John, feel free to share that if you would like. Uh, but it almost makes you feel like insecure to meet people because we see all these horrible things. And I think Kingston, New York. And New York, is that an expensive area of New York? Because New York can be quite expensive, like ridiculously expensive. Sometimes financial stress too can either lead to more muggings or depression, things like that. So JG, what is it that you just don't like the drama? Because there's a lot of drama. People get drunk. Somebody says, "Oh, you look really sexy or pretty," and then the husband gets mad, or vice versa. A lot of people are territorial. So, okay. So Brenda says, "Yeah, I'm interested in this." Brenda says, "Husband started bringing girlfriends home, rubbing it in your face. Son states I have no right to hold that against husband because that's just a character defect that hurts you deeply." Um, yeah, that's not your live-in boyfriend. That's your husband. There were some vows, and doing it in front of your face too. I mean, it's nice that you know what's up, but how did you handle it though? Now, did it seem like they were just female friends, or could you tell that they were intimate friends? Because sometimes they try to, oh, it's just a friend of mine. Um, I'm so sorry for that. Gosh. And on top of it, your son not not seeing. So he's probably going to cheat too. He's probably going to, it's just a character defect. That's more than a character defect. That's flat out disrespect. You know, um, how's, so out of 44 years, when did that start happening? And did you have a difficult time separating? And you don't have to share if you don't want to share. I can understand that. But you say, I ended the relationship. I was never happy, but didn't understand abuse, was raised in abuse. I ended it when my weight was 76 pounds. Oh, honey, Whoa, even if you're 5 feet tall, which is pretty short for a woman, that's really light. And my doctor filed an elder abuse report on him. Yeah, Brenda, I don't know your height, but 76 pounds is very thin. Um, were you ambulatory? Were you able to get around? Did he take food from you, or were you just that stressed out, sad that you weren't eating? Oh, wow. And I hope you're doing healthier now. Have you gained at least 15 pounds? Tell me at least 90 pounds. Um, so, wow. And that's the thing, too. Like, it affects our weight. It affects our health when we go through these things, whether we gain too much or lose too much. And thank God your doctor had your back. Imagine what it was like, what could have happened. You know, your son wasn't sticking up for you, your husband was tormenting you, and probably made you sick to your stomach walking on eggshells or nerves. I'm sorry, your nerves were probably rattled, and that's hard to eat when. And that's just so sad. It's like, you know, you have a beautiful son and your husband, and why did all these relationships fall apart? And you say you were never happy. How long did you guys date before you got married? And guys, you can still chime in too. But Lele says upstate in New York. Oh, you had to Google where it is. Yeah, it's cold, and straight across over in Michigan. Sometimes New York gets like ridiculous amounts of snow. We do too, but there's time. Did you, John? Did you guys ever have like 22 feet of snow or something crazy? I'm not talking inches. I know that sometimes it's a lot of snow. 36 feet. I'm going to look this up. Uh, most amount of snowfall in New York. 24 hours. Let's see. We'll do 24 hours. Oh, come on. It's giving me this storm. Uh, 49 inches. Oh, wait, come on. Oh, 36. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe I did just remember it wrong. It's 24 and 36. Uh, and this is in 24 hours. I don't know. 50 inches. That's still like, 5, 6 feet tall. And, oh, so Brenda says he was drugging me with methamphetamine. I weigh 115 now and at a happy place. Good. So, um, that's uh, much better. And did you know that he was drugging you, or did he kind of push you into doing that? Because that can be addictive. And I'm so glad that you are in a much better place. So, wow. And that's sometimes too. You dated about 6 months, married right away. That's a narcissistic cycle. Yeah. And sometimes we get caught up in it, like, yeah, it's going to be the best thing. And we believe in them. And how long was he drugging you? Did he do that too with the methamphetamines? Um, but you can see even just you're back at a healthy weight, or at least a sustainable. I don't know how tall you are, but at least 115. Even me at 6 foot would be super tiny, but uh, that would still be okay with me. And most people aren't as tall as me. John says back in the 80s, the snowfall completely covered our cars in the driveway. I had to dig them out. Yeah, 1978. Oh, you say 80s? Yeah, 19. You might have it in the 80s. Um, but I remember the blizzard of 1978, and yeah, we had a lot more snow in the 80s too. It could be up to the second story, to where my ex would walk out of the upstairs window with snowshoes, and that's probably 16, 17 feet right there. And I think you guys got more. Uh, completely covered our cars in the driveway. Now, my ex was on Lake Michigan, so some of it was lake effect, but um, covered your cars in the driveway, had to dig them out. Yeah, there's times you couldn't find your car. It was like, now what? And I saw it was in New York where they had, and I know New York, they do have cows there though, but they had like trails for the cows and it was taller than the trails. And I'm sorry, Brenda. JG says, with John, still happens. Yeah, there's still snow. Lily, you have gone through hell, Brenda. Thank God you're away from the SOB. I agree. And you took your life back, Brenda, because 44 years, that's hard to leave. Um, starting all over. But you get to the point, drugging you for about 1 year and you didn't know. Huh. Yeah, and I told you guys a story before about a guy I ran into at a bar. He was just talking to me, not trying to hit on me, but he was telling me about his wife gave him arsenic, and it was just slow. It was like 40 times or something crazy. The doctors have no idea how he was surviving. Um, but yeah, you could tell like it messed him up, and so you didn't know. Gosh, how did you find out? I don't know much about meth. I thought you had to smoke it. So I don't know if you guys were passing a joint or I don't know how that stuff goes. And it was stuck in there. Or I don't know if you can take it in a pill form. But yeah, in 1 year, you lost that much weight. Um, you probably started. Was it the doctor that found out? Or did you eventually? Oh, that speed. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I don't do. You're right. You're right. Sorry. How is that though? Uh, you're right, and I can't remember the legal name. And when I read it, I remembered that it was. Sorry about that. Is that a pill where you can grind it up? I don't know. Methamphetamines. You're right. It is speed. Sorry about that. My apologies. Um, so yeah, speed, and she's away from him now. She is away from him now, and the doctor had called, put in a report about elder abuse, and yeah. So to pan off of what JG is saying, did they press any criminal charges on him, Brenda? And is it to where you can dismiss it, or is it now in the court's hands? Some like with domestic violence, sometimes you can't take it away once it's filed. They have to do something. Lily says, yeah, really, but how can she prove it in the past? Blood test, maybe. Um, and I know it's like his word against hers. And JG says he paying out the police with that bar money. Also, bar money and the blue code, policemen and firefighters, they work together. They stroke each other's backs, and that could be another thing. Like I said, my first one was state police. Got away with some stuff because of the blue code. So that could be it too. And sometimes too, you're like, what's the point with that blue code? It's pointless. Uh, sometimes courts. I'm not going to say they're all, but that's why I stopped going to law school because I'm like, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what you know. It matters who you know. And I just saw, I was in one of the most corrupt counties in Michigan. So not all of them are bad, but not all judges are bad, but some are. Uh, Brenda says he was putting it in the coffee maker and in my Ensure Health drink that you keep in the fridge. Doctor figured it out. At least you had the right doctor. And since it's Christmas, I'm going to get religious. Maybe it was God. I don't usually bring religion into it, but you had the right doctor. Not all doctors would have figured that out. So, and you could just see from 78 pounds to like it was a little over 110, whatever you said it was, but 118, 116, can't remember, but you're at like a sustainable weight right now because when you get down to 78 pounds, like you start eating away the fat around your heart, and it can lead to a heart attack. So thank God. And that's the thing, just like, what that guy told you about with the arsenic. It's like, you're like, oh, that's so sweet. Every morning he gets me my Ensure. There's vitamins in it. He wants to make sure I'm healthy. Coffee brings me fresh coffee. He even refills it. And it's like, gosh. Oh, I'm interested to see if they press charges. And like you're saying, yeah, sometimes, like Lily said, powder form, like in your drink. Yeah, that I believe that's what she's saying, Lily. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Brenda. Everything is still in the court system, including divorce proceedings. So you're not officially divorced yet. Um, and to, let's take this a little deeper because I want to make sure you're okay, Brenda, because that's kind of like a hit on your life. And how you feeling? You know, because I feel real shitty with how mine did me wrong, and it affected my life outcome style. But and my health with being sad, but that's like a hit on your life. And you see that yours might even be more than just a narcissist, psychopath, sociopath. And I'm not trying to excuse it, but like the trauma that uh, police and fire go through, that can change him too. So maybe he got worse over time too because of that. It's a coping mechanism. But then, with the power and everything like that, now he's got girlfriends, and maybe a girlfriend was putting pressure on him. Um, and divorce can be expensive. And oh, Brenda. So yeah, Jesus Christ and your doctor are your superheroes. And now it's time to spread those wings, and you're free now. You're free now. Once you get through that court proceedings, you have kidney disease. Yeah, that COPD. That can be really hard. The kidney disease, depression, and cancer. Um, oh, you had it, but completely disease free now. That's the thing. Like, I'm seeing this more and more and more. Guys, if you can comment, because this is extremely interesting. There's a lot of people that are like, as soon as I've gotten away from my person, not as soon, but during the transition, whether they had diabetes, I've heard a couple cancer things, high blood pressure, COPD. Like, mine's still taking some time to get off of that COPD, but that the disease goes away. And I can't say it'll always do that, but there's a lot of times that it affects our health, and when we step away, we're so much healthier. So, well, yeah, your life was saved. And I think you were blessed on top of it, because you didn't deserve what you went through. So your bonuses are the kidney disease and all that going away. So, yeah, thank thank you for your doctor, and yeah, the intervention of Jesus Christ. Definitely some superheroes. And that's the thing, like I see so many stories of, like the Lacey Peterson, Scott Peterson case. He just wanted to be with somebody different. And Brenda says, I'm still fearful because he lives not too far away. My daughter had come over and left the door secretly unlocked for him. Why? You're kidding. And did she tell him that the door was unlocked? Why would she do that? So you guys separated, different households, um, waiting for the divorce proceedings. And I see somebody just joined in. This husband was like poisoning her, and he used his knowledge from being in the army on me. Yep. And sometimes too, like it'll be a trigger. Like, yeah, that'll work. I can do that. manipulation tactics. My ex, like I said, was a state cop, and the interrogation, things like that. They learn things. They learn different techniques, or you know, uh, sometimes even they have a higher incidence of like criminal rates that they can learn things in jail, right? A real sicko. And from now on, like this. Oh, why would you? I'm still floored that your daughter did that, because she obviously knows something was up, or did you kind of not want to upset her so you didn't say anything? But she probably saw your health declining and getting better. Do the kids know that he attempted that? And do you think if they're called into court for a character witness, something like that, that he'll support you or not? And as she's typing, you guys are able to still interact with me. I can kind of help you with your stuff too, or feel free to comment. Don't talk or share anything with your kids. Yeah, your kids, as Lily is saying, they don't got your back. You know, um, they don't have your back. Just be cautious of that. And wow. And the thing too is, like, damn. Sometimes two people will do it for certain uh, insurance money. But if it's suicide, which he might have claimed, even though it's not what you wanted, he was doing that to you. But suicide, you don't even get the insurance money. Some people aren't even smart enough to know that. So they'll say, I'll just make it look like a suicide. I get this money, get free from her. And people think that they're above the law, that they're not going to get caught. How long have I been away from my ex narc? I don't even know how to say that. But like my daughter's my daughter's father, um, 28 years. But the other one, I don't even know. Uh, I don't even know how to say it because it's so flip floppy and fucked up. And um, I don't know. Like when we were, it's too hard to. I don't even know how to say on that one. But with my daughters, it's been something like 27 and a half years, something like that. But the pain was like 22 years that I went through, because I went through 4 custody battles. Like he was messing with my life and controlling things. And I don't know, it was just hard. And it was, I don't know, you go through certain things like we lived together for like I said, it was so long ago, a year and a half, something like that. And it didn't get to that super bad time. It's just we were supposed to get married, and then he wanted to postpone it and couldn't tell me why or till when. So I left. I was pretty religious and also pretty young and scared. Like away from my family, and you're taking away this promise. I already had my bridal shower, sent out invitations, can't give me a reason why we're postponing it. 3 weeks before the wedding, plus school starting, and I had to finish the last, I can't remember, 30, 60 credits, whatever it was. I was at that one school. So I was scared. Like, I don't have a job. I don't have daycare. I don't have family. I don't have a place to go or money. Now what? So, because of the pressure of school and everything like that, I left. And it's kind of like, oh. But looking back, you do start seeing the red flags. So we didn't get to like where things exploded until I left. Then it was terrible. But I'm losing my track of thought. But what would it have been, if we did get married? And, um, he's repeated the pattern with other women. He can have long term relationships, but he's never been married. He was always afraid of marriage. So, because his mom screwed his family or his dad over so bad. So he definitely didn't trust, he didn't want to share. And I never took anything, even when I left, I didn't even take a Diet Coke with me. I left all the stuff. So when my daughter would visit, there was a bed, there was a toy chest, I didn't take my towels, and yeah, there was red flags. There was red flags that I should have been better about. But yeah, what would it have been? But even that, like the trauma bond that happens because of the intermittent stuff. It was, yeah, JG, I've never been married. So have you? And how is it overrated? Um, you know, they say that people live longer when they're married, and I kind of wonder if they're happier or if they just like right now. If I had a heart attack, I'm home alone. Nobody's going to call. But if I had even an abusive husband, he'd probably call and save my life. So I wonder how much of the longer lifespan is due to, yeah, I guess I'll call EMS, you know. And yeah, we don't know what we don't know. Um, and I don't know, it sucks. It just sucks. And it totally destroyed my life. Like, all $190,000 in court and just retarded. We got a little pop-up ad, low mattress now, get up to $700 off. I hate those pop-ups. Groupon. Why does it go right over the chat box? You had an insurance policy, but canceled it. He set the furnace up to catch on fire. Double indemnity. Ooh. I did report that to the police. Uh, and his bar burnt down a few years ago. Ooh, so he's got patterns. They see something works. I've heard that too about restaurant owners will do that. It's like, oh, your third restaurant broke down, kitchen fire. Um, man, and that's the thing too. He's a firefighter, right? Your husband or just your son? Is your husband a firefighter too? I know you said your son was. Uh, I'm getting a little lost on who's who. Uh, who's but they had a firefighter convention. And thank you guys. I love you're so sweet with those likes. That helps with the algorithm to get me noticed and expand this channel. Thank you for that. I see those going on up. But they had a firefighter convention and they kept seeing like all these fires. They couldn't figure it out. And it turns out that the firemen were doing it. They learned certain techniques on how to get away with things. And that's what it was. Uh, and yeah, your person probably knew how to set that up. Oh gosh. Did the police do anything about it? Probably not. They probably just saw it as hearsay. Can't do anything with it until it happens. Lily says, I watch what I say to my kid, but I don't have those fears because X was never violent. Yeah, mine weren't violent. Yeah. JG says, never been nor will be married. I travel, work, skate, and occasionally have fun with older women. And we're all different. Marriage to me is something that I would like, though. Um, and that's we're all different. Brenda says, I did report that to the police. Our first apartment caught fire when I was 18 years old. I was supposed to be home alone that morning. Your first apartment with him? 18 is kind of, I'm not sure um, if you were living with him at that time. Wow. And fire. I'm a burn victim. You do not want, oh. Yeah, it's burnt 55% of my body. So John says, I healed good, but they usually do it to collect the insurance money. And yeah, they don't think about it too because they don't always get it. Because if it's suicide, if that's their defense, they're not going to get the money. If they get proved pinned on them, they go to jail. Like it's so stupid what they're doing. And yeah, he does sound scary. Uh, Oh my gosh, Brenda. Dog Defender says trauma sets a trap for us to be perfect prey for those predators. I was thinking about earlier that, because the topic of tonight, as like a chat starter, was are they happier? And it depends on who their target is. They turned us into the target. And just son, okay. All these fires had to be documented as the fire department had to come out. Okay, just your son was. Okay. Yeah, Dog Defender. Ice skate. I love ice skating. Lily says, so you went through a lot too, Cynthia. Yeah, it makes us stronger. Kind of sucks. I'm strong enough. But yeah, there's. Um, yeah, luckily I healed pretty good, compared to some people. So JG says ice skate, haha, no. Oh, JG says I can ice skate though. Brenda says passive aggressive. Yeah, that's kind of what mine were, passive aggressive. And that's what I thought too, Lily, skating through life. Dog Defender says, JG, it is fun. Yeah, sometimes the way we communicate too is like, wait, what? Oh, the narcissist, I don't like skating through life through the bullshit. Through the bullshit. Um, and there's another one. Yeah, we're having like little Christmas presents. If you feel like giving me a like to help out with the algorithms, but Merry Christmas to you. We were talking about Brenda, whose husband literally tried to kill her, and that's why it's really important, to really figure out, do we stay? Samantha, if you're still here, if you came back after finding the kids, it can turn extremely toxic. Brenda says, yes, we were living together. He left early in the morning. I was supposed to be home sleeping, but your job called me into work and they were shorthanded. Somebody was looking out for you. I believe somebody from above, because timing. Yeah. And Lily, it should be underneath. I don't know how it looks on your thing. The little thumbs up. If you see a little thumbs up, you can click the thumbs up. It should be on the bottom, right by my name. Scroll over to the little thumbs up. And if not, I still love you. It does help, though. It does help a lot. So it's definitely appreciated. And Brenda says, yes, we were living together. Gosh, let me know if you found them, Lily. Dog Defender says mental and emotional financial abuse is really damaging. Brenda, can I ask, did you work when you were with him? Sometimes too, they'll trap us, because you had at least two kids in the house, and um, it's kind of nice when guys let us be the stay-at-home mom, but it kind of can keep us trapped financially too. That they sometimes do it on purpose. Um, Yeah, the thumbs up. Yeah, sorry. I'm old. Yeah, it'll be a thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up if you could. Thank you, Dog Defender. Still, I gotta go between my words. There's Facebook and YouTube, and it's all new. Thumbs up. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Uh, but Dog, thank you, Dog Defender. Your ex put Valium in your milkshakes. Your girlfriend was staying with us and she figured it out. Huh. Interesting. And was it just to get you high? Why were they doing the Valium? Um, like, uh, just sometimes I think it's just funny. And hmm. Brenda says, I fear in the divorce, if I'm awarded money and anything from the house, he would get in a rage. Yeah, that's a thing. Especially since he's a pyromaniac. Uh, hmm. Yeah, that's a tough one because sometimes too, that they say the leaving is the most dangerous time. So just be careful. Um, yeah, I don't like that he knows where you live, you know. Uh, Dog Defender says that was 25 years ago. He wanted me to sleep so he could say I wasn't a good mother. Okay. JG says relapsed. Um, yeah. What was that, just to give you hell, or was it in the middle of like a court case? Wow, dog defense. Yeah, they'll do things, and it's weird the things that they do. And they don't trust. We trust them with our body, whether it's sexually or like you guys. It's okay for deleting your comments. Thank you for saying that. Do you believe that it's me deleting it? Because I might need to upgrade my software. So that might be when it gets up higher. So that's why at the beginning of the video, you'll see that I spent a couple hours researching different things. Please tell me if your comments are being deleted, and I will upgrade, but it's going to cost like $1,000. I don't mind doing it because I want you guys, especially with it being the holidays. So I am not deleting your comments. So if you're thinking it's me, and I don't think anybody else can. So um, please comment. Try to get through. No, it's not you. Some fed or hacker. Really? How do you know? Oh, that's not cool. How do they do that? I don't know. Because, yeah, it's not me. I don't even know how to. Oh, because this happened before. I don't like that. Do you guys know anything on how people can end up doing that? How they hack in? Why would they do that to me? Like this channel? Like it's not that big of a channel. Um, I'm sorry that's happening. I'll try to troubleshoot. I don't know how to block that from that happening. Any advice is appreciated. Oh, JG, I'm sorry that's doing that. Brenda says, yes, I worked it out, but quit when he started sending women from his bar into my job to harass me. And they'll do that. They'll do that, whether it's to make you jealous or to control you or to just toy with your emotions. If anybody else is having trouble where they think their comments are being deleted, please let me know. And if it's you doing it, you better behave. Call your mother. Um, Still looking. Darn, you don't see it. Uh, you you work but quit when he started. Okay, so I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like fuck this. I'm not playing that. Dog Defender says I left him. We were separated after he cheated on me. I caught him red-handed. That sucks. But at least you found out. Like I said, my mom's in the hospital. That's the only reason that. Oh, okay. Um, Dog Defender retracted. So when you retracted, I don't mind that you did that, but can you confirm that that's you and nobody else is hacking this? Lily, darn, I don't see it. Lily's still looking. Goodness, you don't see it. If somebody wants to tell them, it might be on the top. If you see the people that joined and then just a outline of a thumb, mine's on the top. I don't know what the live stream looks for you. It might be on the top left. Um, this is there's a YouTube creator. He is an IT guy. Contacted. Oh, hold on 1 second. You want? So yeah. Hi, I'm in the middle of a live chat that I can call you back in a little bit.
Yeah, why don't you text me when you're ready?
All right, love you guys. Merry Christmas.
All right,
bye. It's Christmas, so um, she said to make it look like she was a bad mother. That is a good one. You would laugh if you knew, but how computer savvy you are. So, do you think it's that one person? Yeah, is it Dog Defender? No, I don't. No, I'm not saying Dog Defender did it. There is a way that you can retract your own messages. Um, and yeah, I'm not computer savvy. I wouldn't be able to do it. We've had people deleting comments before. You are a suspect. Let's be nice to each other. Yeah, if you're doing it, just don't do it. Yeah, because I'm new to this live stream thing. I've been doing it 2.5 weeks or something, and this is the second time. Huh. That it's happened. I almost spent $1,000 to prevent that. So I'm troubleshooting. I don't really know. I don't know if it has when it's a certain amount of people that it's kicking people out. So if you guys adore me, please don't do that because I'm just a kind-hearted person. We can have a lot of fun here, but I want to make sure that my viewers are able to interact with us appropriately. Like that's important to me. Uh, You saw the thumbs up. It says 2 now. Oh, it says 2? Mine says 9. And that's the thing too. Like afterwards, it updates. Does it just say there's 2? Because it's on my side it says 9. But also too it says there's 9 viewers. Sometimes it's more. Like I can't see everybody, and I'm still trying to figure out if I have maximum where I can have more than 10 people commenting at one time, because that might kick it out. Also, when you guys hit send at the same time, I don't know if that causes it to bump out. So JG, people cannot delete anyone's comments to my knowledge. You can only delete your own comment. It says 9. Had them refresh their page. Yeah, it's probably just, yeah, mine says 9, so it's probably just not refreshed yet. Be mindful. No, I was a moral focus teacher. Yeah, we were taught to be mindful. I had to go around and talk about wisdom and perseverance, and that's the thing, though. Seriously, we should be mindful, and also like what Brenda's going through. Like that's some pretty tough shit, and oh, you see 10. Somebody gave you another one. I don't see that yet, but uh, I didn't write anything. But sometimes it can be life or death type shit that I want to be here to really help people. So um, I have other YouTube channels that I don't care, but here it's really important. So especially during the holidays, some people become suicidal due to loneliness or financial strain. So I just definitely, want this to be a healthy thing to help. So thank you for that thumbs up, though. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna let you guys go because I should do my family Christmas get together. If you would like, I can come back on in about half hour to an hour. Comment below if you would like that. But Merry Christmas to you guys. I'll log back in with a new live stream if you guys are interested. But thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas to you guys, and stay safe out there. All right, big hugs, guys. And if you comment, I'll still be able to see your stuff. So later. And I'll take later as bye. But if you want me to log on later, say please log on later. Otherwise, I take it as later. See you later, alligator. So let me know. I'll log back in if you specify it, whether that's a goodbye or log in later. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas. And thank you, everybody, for making this a great time. Get some sleep. Well, I can't imagine that stress with the child custody fights. My daughter was 9 and he never tried for custody. Yeah, 4 custody battles. Uh, and that's the thing, like 5 to 6% of divorces go to custody battle. We weren't even married, and only 5 to 6 of marriages go to custody battles. And mine went 4 times. So that lets you know how ruthless they can be. Yeah, and I was high anxiety. That's why I think it's taken me so long with the CPTSD. That oh, did you see um, that I've been in high anxiety for so long? So yes, love you guys too. See you later. Bye bye. Merry Christmas.